Hello everyone, it's Shel from Paper Rock TO Studio, and today I am doing the Artist Trading Card Challenge for December from our Pick a Stick Challenge group. You know, that's the group over on Facebook where every month we pick 10 random prompts to do an art journal page, and then out of those 10 prompts we draw 3 of the prompts to make them into an Artist Trading Card Challenge for fun and an additional challenge, or maybe you only want to do the trading card that month because you don't have a lot of time. Either way, we do this at the Facebook group, and I will link to the group below if you think you might want to join. So the first step on this challenge for this month's artist trading card was to create a resist image using either gesso or a gel medium. So I decided to use heavy gesso, and I put that through a stencil using a palette knife, and then I dried that up with my heat tool, of course. And then now I have this whole concept of coffee with friends, and it all came from the second piece I'm going to use, which is a page that someone sent me in Happy Mail. Judging from the language on the book page, I think it's probably from Ina Salisbury, but anyway, I wanted to use coffee on the card, and so I made very strong coffee using some grounds that I got in Mexico recently, and then I dripped that onto my card. Artist trading cards are 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and this one and most of the ones that I use are made out of 140-pound watercolor paper on a cold press. So it should be absorbent. So I used a pipette and dripped on some coffee and dried that, and then after that I decided that that brownish goldish color goes really well with like a teal blue, so I used some watercolor paint and added the teal blue color as well. And so it kind of has swirls on it, and then the reason I used the swirls is because I was thinking of coffee and the steam that comes off of coffee when it's really hot, and you know, that swirly look. So that's the reason that I picked that stencil. So now the next one is to use something old. This is a page from an old book. The book title at the top is Nellie, but the words are written in, I think, German. I'm not sure. I did seal in the coffee and the watercolor using matte liquid medium with my 2-inch brayer, because I knew that I was going to be collaging this piece onto the top. And it's the picture that is in the middle of the page, and it's got all these ladies sitting around a table, and they're probably drinking tea, but it could be coffee. One of them's holding up her cup and there's steam coming off the top, and then the other two are kind of looking on, and they seem to be having a very animated discussion about something. And I thought it was a cute picture. The page is very old, and the book is probably old, and so it's a pen and ink type of, maybe like, I don't know, maybe a woodcut press, or maybe some type of an etching type of illustration. So it's not particularly clear between the age of the paper and probably the printing abilities back then, and you know, degradation of some sort of the ink. Maybe the image isn't that clear, so you have to really take a good look at it up close. But it's cute once you really study it. Of course, I couldn't keep the whole image because this is an artist trading card, so I just cut out 3 of the ladies, and you can see the teacups and the bread on the table, and the ladies kind of leaning in and talking, and I don't know, I thought it was fun. And so my whole card was based around using this image. When I saw they use something old, then I went to look for something old, and I found this old book page, and wanted to use it. So that's like that's what the whole card's based on. So I used some brush markers to just kind of add some color to the image, trying to make it more clear what it is. I thought maybe adding, you know, coloring in the ladies and coloring in the teacups and stuff would give you a better idea than just the black and sepia tone picture. So the third prompt was to use acrylic paint, or the third step or whatever. I decided to use gold acrylic paint. I was kind of thinking of those fancy teacups that have white china or porcelain, and then I was thinking these probably have a blue band around them with some type of floral pattern, and then gold on the rim, and maybe gold on the rim of the saucer. So that's the reason that I picked gold acrylic paint. And I was first just going to go around the edges. Then I thought, okay, I'll go around the edges of the photo as well to try to give kind of a line of demarcation to give a frame to the photo. Or well, it's not really a photo. It's a it's a drawing, an etching or some sort. But I ended up going a little bit crazy with the gold all over the place. I decided that the swirly design, I could highlight that as well by adding a little bit of the gold, very watered down, so that it's kind of like a wash. And then I did it full strength with my finger over some of the where the gesso is kind of raised because it was heavy gesso. And then I even added a little bit to the teacups in the wallpaper in the background, in the picture. So then just to finish everything off, I'm using a food ball pen. I don't know why I grabbed that one and not the Posca. It was just sitting there. It's got a pretty wide ball on it, and so I'm using it to draw a border around the edge of the card and to draw a border around the edge of this little cutout piece as well. And kind of drying in between because the food ball doesn't dry very quickly. It's not acrylic like the Posca pens I normally use, so it's more of a gooey type of an ink that doesn't dry quite as quick. And then once that was done, I thought that I needed some words, and so I got words printed from my printer which say coffee with friends. And I decided that that needed to match the whole antique-y look of the entire project, so I stained it with coffee. Staining paper or fabric with coffee or tea really does give it an aged look, so the whole thing is kind of a little bit on the vintage side, I think. And then I attached my words using my matte liquid medium and gave that a good dry again. I did a lot of drying on this project. Took more time to dry everything than it did doing anything else. So then I wanted to add a line around the words as well, but I wanted a finer line, so I got out my Pitt illustration pens and used the small nib to draw my line around the words. Then I went in search of something else. It needed something. And so I looked in my buttons and I didn't have anything. They were all too big. I looked in all through this metal stuff, couldn't really find anything. And I was just like, what? I need something. I need something. I don't know what. I just don't know what. So then I got out this box of things that have been sent to me in Happy Mail and swaps and stuff like that. You know how you get extra stuff. Looking through that, and then I remembered that I had a couple more of these bags of little beads and sequins and things that people have sent me. And I was thinking about these little stars, these pokey stars. I call them pokey because they've got these really pointy things that you poke through the paper and you stab yourself with them viciously. There's probably a little bit of DNA left on this card because I think I bled when I was trying to put the stars in. So I tried a heart. I found these other rub-on stars, and I couldn't settle. So you can see I went on a large search trying to find something to put on the card. That sometimes happens. And you know, we crafters usually have a lot of stuff that we've hoarded, and so it takes a while to look through everything. So then I settled on these metal stars and poking them through the paper, and then using something to press down the prongs so it doesn't stab anybody. And I thought that it needed more than one, but two it doesn't look right with an even number, so I ended up adding 3. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share. All those things really help my channel out, and I'm almost to 4,000 subscribers. Also, check out the Facebook group. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.